we're going. So, what was your impression of John F. Kennedy when he first became president?
I thought he did good, real good.
Good president?
Mm-hmm.
Did you think that he would change things with the United States if there was anything that needed to be changed?
Yep.
And was it like a really, like around the world, there was a huge impact when he was assassinated?
Yes, it was. He was well liked president.
Alright, and like, what do you think some of his biggest achievements as a president was? If there's any that you like recall.
None I recall really, but not that I can recall.
And like, I know there's the whole thing that he kind of like saved with the Cuban Missile Crisis.
I remember the Cuban Missile, yeah.
And
that was close.
yeah, that's what my teacher said. And like, did you feel like fear when like you were hearing about it and everything?
No, really, no.
Like,
no, not really. You almost thought it'd work out. Yeah.
do you think it would work out just because Kennedy was president?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He wasn't going to bluff him. Yeah.
All right, and then let's move on to the civil rights movements. Like,
nothing about that.
nothing?
Not really. I don't want to. No.
Alright, then War of Vietnam. Did you think this was kind of like a war that could now be compared to the war on terrorism in Iraq? Like, do you think
I
there's...
think more like Afghanistan.
Yeah, like those wars?
Right. So, it was a crazy war. A war they couldn't win. You draw a line. I'm fighting you, we draw a line. You're on that side, I'm on this side. If I can't pass that line.
Yeah. Did, like, Vietnam, like, change anything in the United States, or did you like how the president acted with Vietnam and...
Nothing really, not like
Because, Lyndon B. Johnson was president then. And
Johnson, yeah.
he was, according to my class, like, he was telling people that the war was, you guys were winning the war, and then all of a sudden, like, you guys saw footages of stuff, and then it was just like...
That's right.
Did you, like...
Lost a lot of kids there was no need of.
Yeah. Did you think that the draft was a good idea then for the war, or?
Ruth, you're smiling, is that you?
I think the draft was a good idea. I think they should still have it.
Why do you think we should still have it?
Because, you know, it don't do no harm to go. A lot of the young people go in there and learn a little discipline and see what the other world's like a little bit.
Yeah. Then there's like the whole thing with the Cold War with the USSR and how we were the first person to set a man on the moon. Do you think that was a good achievement, or?
But the man on the moon?
Yeah, Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
Do you think that made an impact on the world, like with anything?
Not really, no. Not really. Not for an ordinary person, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think space travel is a good idea, or just kind of like what's your input on space?
I think it's a waste of money.
Yeah. Were you ever a fan of the Beatles? Like,
No.
just not like that type of music, or what they stood for, kind of?
I didn't like their music. Especially I first see him on Ed Sullivan, I said, I guess I was prejudiced anyway, the long hair.
Yeah. So that means you probably didn't really like hippies either, because...
No, didn't like hippies either.
Did you like because of how they like kind of went
Until I
through?
had some kids who grew up with long hair and things that changed my mind.
Did you like not like the hippies because of what they kind of like were drugs?
No, it's drugs, yes. But they had good ideas too.
Yeah. Because
How to live off the land and Had some good ideas.
You're,
No, just my generation.
yeah, were
Right.
you born in the, like, what they call the baby boomer generation?
Yep.
So did you guys, like, because in class we talked a lot about the baby boomer generation and talked how, like, they kind of changed generations to come. Did you feel like you had any impact of that, really?
No, not really.
You just kind of, because, like, I know they kind of stood up for themselves more in a way, so.
Well, see, back then, you know, there were no TVs. They were. I remember when I was a kid, we used to have a gold battery that was big, put in the radio, put in the oven, heat it up so we could hear news and things. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Let's see. Let's move on to Richard Nixon. Did you,
No, that was Nixon.
you did what?
Oh, Nixon, yeah.
Did you like him? Did you think he was good, or
He was evil, I think.
why do you think he was evil?
On account of the, when they, you know, they got in the mess there over
The Watergate?
Watergate, yeah, that's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
I says, he tried to have too much power, but he,
Did you think he did anything good in his time, or?
not that I can remember.
And then there was, like, right after him, Jimmy Carter got elected, and he had to deal with, like, the whole energy crisis with oil. Do you think he did a good job with that, with all the
I
rationing?
think Jimmy did a good job, you know, good as he could.
Yep.
Jimmy was a good man, yeah.
Did you? I know in a lot of his speeches he addressed God and how churches need to come in. Did you agree with that, or it's kind of thing?
That's everybody's privilege to think,
Yeah.
you know. Well, yeah, I thought you might not think the same way, but I like Jimmy. I think what he done.
Yeah. Is there anything that stood out really that you think he made him a good man?
No, I can't think of nothing right now. Of course, that was a while ago.
Yeah. It's in like '79, I think he
He
gave.
still does a lot of stuff for people.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the Cold War, up like when the Berlin Wall fell down and the USSR dissolved. Do you think that was a good thing, or like, do you know?
I can remember them tearing the Berlin Wall down, East Germany. Yeah, it was. I think that was a good step there. I mean, the Cold War, that was crazy anyway.
Why was it crazy?
Because see who could build up the most nuclear bombs and all that crap and missiles and I didn't know.
Yeah. Did it kind of put like
That's
fear?
kind of scary, yeah.
Um, did you think if we didn't tear down the Berlin Wall, the USSR would still be here, or no?
The Berlin Wall. I don't know.
I know in class we watched some like commercials that had the Berlin Wall in it. Do you remember like those commercials at all?
Yeah, I remember them showing pictures of tearing it down. They had little sledgehammers they beating on the walls. And so yeah, I can remember it. Yeah.
And then
But see, there was communists on the east side. On the west it was just regular Germans.
yep. Did you think crap. I had it. Oh, well anyways, do you remember how you felt on September 11th, 2001?
Yeah, I was in Vermont. It was sad, real sad. Yeah, kinda made you angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it was real scary. they could do something like that. Yeah.
Did you think it was a crisis like the Cuban Missile Crisis? Like you felt fear? Or did you think it was just more of a sad thing like, oh, I can't believe this happened?
It's just, no, it wasn't like the missile crisis. It was just a bunch of idiots. Yeah.
And do you think with the war on terrorism, like going to Afghanistan and Iraq, trying to get Al-Qaeda, it was the right thing to do? Or
I don't believe in Iraq. Afghanistan, more or less, yes. Iraq, no, I don't.
yeah.
I think he just went in there, finished what his father started. That's what I think.
This is George Bush, right? And what his father
Right.
said. Okay.
Mhm.
Do you think war on terrorism is a war that will ever be won?
It's hard to say. I think it'd be almost impossible.
Why do you think it'd be almost impossible?
Because, they're scattered out everywhere. They ain't just like a group of army or soldiers.
Mhm.
They're scattered out all over the world.
Yeah. And we'll go back a little ways into when Roe versus Wade and the whole abortion trial. Do you think what happened was a good thing? Like, or do you think like pro-choice is better or pro-life, like the whole trial just in general? Like,
Oh, you did?
I don't know, really. There's a lot of kids in this world that are not wanted. And, it's hard to say one way or the other, but I think it should be women's choice. I really do.
yeah.
I mean, what if the lady was raped? Why couldn't she have that choice to have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that the trial did make a change, or it had an impact at all, or not? No.
Yeah, I think so. I think it did, yeah.
That's good. Well, thank you.
Yeah.